Live stream is initiating. Just give me a second.
Give us a couple of minutes. We're just looking for people to join.
Go ahead, Bindi. You're on mute. Yeah, all good now.
Hello. Hello and welcome. Can you hear me now? Am I on?
Yes.
I want to be absolutely sure. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Social Innovation Summit for 2020. I'm Bindi Dharia, the Deputy Director for the Center for Social Impact and Philanthropy, and your host for the next 2 days. We have some very interesting content for you, and as promised, no panels. This year has been challenging for all, but especially for civil society organizations who were first responders to the lockdown and the pandemic. Besides this, in the last year, organizations have been dealing with regulation changes, funding losses, and most importantly, running business as usual. Some of us were well prepared and had systems in place. A lot have innovated and used existing technology or developed solutions. And others are still struggling with the what and how of digital. Some of us, so the next 2 days is an attempt by CSIP to showcase some of these solutions and answer some of those questions. This year is an almost no cost conference where existing resources and collaborations with various organizations have been leveraged. We're very grateful to all of you and thankful for all the attendees that are now logging in. While you listen to the talks, do share your thoughts and feedback on social media and tag Ashoka CSIP and add the hashtag SIS2020. Now, without further ado, let me invite Ingrid Srinath, the Director of CSIP, to introduce SIS 2020 to all of you. Ingrid, over to you.
Thank you, Bindi. Welcome all to our second annual Social Innovation Summit. As Bindi just said, what a year it's been since the last one. As if it's not enough that humanity is reeling from a global pandemic with all the corollary economic, social, and psychological impact. It's also becoming more and more clear just how severe the impact of the runaway climate crisis is going to be. And then depending on where you are, you're also confronting one or more ways in which democracy is being subverted and repression intensified. In the face of all this, you might well ask, why convene to discuss innovation and technology when we're facing existential threats? 3 lessons we've all learned, I think, during this period of extreme disruption are the following. One, that our capacity to cope and to adapt is to a large extent determined by our access to technology. Those nonprofits, as Bindi just pointed out, who have adopted digital and online modes of operating have been able to quickly respond to serve the needs of both their constituents as well as their staff, and maintain or even grow their operations. The second lesson we've learned is we saw in really stark detail the consequences of the gaps in hardware, in software, in training, even in basic connectivity or power supply, and how these gaps have sharply exacerbated all of our pre-existing inequalities. Which children could continue to learn and which children found themselves shut out. Which women subject to violence could access relief, which were locked in with their perpetrators. Which communities could even get basic information on how to stay safe or get tested or access treatment, and which were left to the mercies of the pandemic. Which NGOs could raise resources online, which found themselves paralyzed. For whom was working from home a feasible option? Whose wealth skyrocketed? Whose incomes were virtually unaffected? And who was rendered destitute? The third clear message that the pandemic and its aftermath taught us was the incredible potential offered by technologies of various kinds. We noted the organizations that were able to quickly increase the scale of their operations, those who were able to reach entirely new audiences, those who could diversify their strategies to include a very wide range of partnerships. It's evident that whether it's working from home or delivering education remotely or serving the most remote and marginalized communities, there are many ways in which technology can open new vistas, which we had probably not even considered exploring previously. So this year's Social Innovation Summit will build on this learning. It will try to address the concerns of those who are still not convinced, and there are many of you, that technology can offer relevant solutions. It will seek to persuade funders of the need to support partners increasingly in this domain, especially with the new amendments to the FCRA, curtailing spend from foreign sources on administrative expenses, including technology. We face a situation where it's particularly critical that Indian funders step up. And that not only we seek funding for our individual organizations, but that we seek collaborative open source solutions. SIS this year will showcase the wide range of available solutions for every aspect of nonprofit operations. We hope it will allow developers, service providers, potential users, and funders to find each other and forge new relationships and partnerships. We hope it will provide spaces for collective deliberation and for co-creation so that we can truly build back better instead of going back to business as usual. It will alert us all, we hope, to the risks posed by inadequate data and information security. And it will delve into the hazards that some technologies pose to democracy and freedom. Both our keynotes will touch on this, and I do hope that you will attend both. We have been pleasantly surprised by the numbers, by the diversity of those of you who've signed up as participants, as speakers, as exhibitors, as workshop hosts, and as partners. And we're especially pleased to be able to host such a diverse roster of speakers. Sadly, when it comes to technology conferences, this is still a rarity. And so this is particularly heartening for us. We're disappointed, of course, not to meet you all in person, but we're very, very satisfied that the SIS carbon footprint this year will be minimal, despite over a 6-fold growth in participation. We're profoundly grateful to our outstanding keynote speakers in particular, and we're looking forward to 2 days of engaging, stimulating, illuminating interaction. And most importantly, to celebrating together the incredible work that each of you does every day, despite the daunting challenges. Welcome again. Over to you.
Thank you, Ingrid. Now I would just like all of you, please log into your sessions of interest. We have the workshop on fundraising by Dasra and ILSS. And next, along with that, is the co-creation session on philanthropy, which will be moderated by Ingrid. The live stream for the co-creation session is on YouTube. Please do not hesitate to contact us at sis@ashoka.edu.in if you need any assistance. Please go ahead. Now you can go ahead and exit and log into your session. Thank you.